the project is not actually a wheel reinvented by NAMRIA. In fact, this project is the result of the persistent efforts of the GIS community or NAMRIA to realize globally recognized national spatial data infrastructure. This is a mechanism actually for the sharing of geospatial information, generate economic, social, and environmental benefits to a lot of users. Now, for this project, we have submitted this project in 2010, and it was approved in 2010, but the actual work actually started in 2012 already. So this is an eco-funded project, and it runs in 3 phases, not necessarily equivalent to 3 years. And the project sponsor is the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and the lead implementing agency is NAMRIA. Next. Now, just to give you a background, the Philippine GeoPortal started with an SDI, or the National Spatial Data Infra. Okay? So the SDI actually encompasses the technologies, policies, standards, people, and institutional arrangements involved in the development of geospatial information, meaning the SDI is actually designed to facilitate the sharing of and access to geospatial information. The LSDI framework, a document of the Philippines, was actually crafted by the Interagency Task Force on Geographic Information. And way back in 2000, I think or during the early part of the century, or the last part of the 90s, this document was produced by that task force, and we have actually adopted the same concept principle, which is LSDI as a network of geospatial databases built upon a common standard-based map. So the keyword is geospatial databases built on one common base map. Okay? And also a mechanism to provide better access to essential and consistent geospatial information produced and maintained by the different sources, custodians, government organizations, and what have you. Next. So, we also have the same components that we adopted for the Philippine GeoPortal project. We start with the fundamental data set. This is actually the fundamental data set define the framework data set, meaning what data should be contained in the Philippine GeoPortal system. So we have the base map for one, and the other geospatial information produced by the other agencies. Okay, the second component is institutional framework. This defines how the data should be collected, built up, and integrated for uploading to the Philippine GeoPortal system. The third component is the technical standards and protocols. Somehow we have established standards and procedures to maintain the quality of data that we have in the GeoPortal system. And the fourth component is a means by which the data clearinghouse network, a means by which we can exchange the data, or how this data will be made accessible to the public or by the public. Now, LSDI is actually being promoted by PCGIA, or the Permanent Committee on GIS Infrastructure for Asia and Pacific. And in fact, under its Articles 3 and 5, PCGIA wants to maximize the value of geospatial information in order to generate social, environmental, and economic benefits for a lot of users. And then another body, which is the GSDI, the Global Spatial Data Infrastructure Association, in fact promotes the same thing. So GGIM does the same way. GGIM is Global Geospatial Information Management, a body under the United Nations Statistical Division. And then another body, the FGDC, this is US-based, which is responsible for an EO, the issuance of an executive order, which mandates government agencies in the states to establish their own NSDI. Okay, in fact, around the world, the Philippines is now side by side in the development of GeoPortal. We have, for instance, the European Regional GeoPortal, which is the INSPIRE. So they have done this GeoPortal already to cater to the European market. Okay, we have also Geoportal Poland, for example. Then another one is NSDI or Geoportal India. And closer to home, we have Singapore, we have Malaysia, we have Indonesia, and we have Australia. The Geoportal Australia is being taken care of by Geoscience Australia. Now locally, or in the Philippines, we have NAMRIA that is responsible for the development of Geoportal, or the Philippine Geoportal, or the NSDI. Why? Because number one, it is our mandate as part of AO 1922. Please. Okay, to integrate geographic and related information to facilitate access to and analysis of data and its transformation into useful information. Next, another function of NAMRIA, which all the more mandates NAMRIA to develop the Geoportal is to serve as a central repository and distribution facility of natural resources data, to operate information services and network, to establish and implement technical standards and quality specifications, and so on and so forth. In short, NAMRIA is the mandated agency in the Philippines to establish NSDI and develop the Geoportal system. Next. So, the Philippine Geoportal project actually is anchored on the concept of one nation, one map. So this is different to the unified mapping project of NAMRIA. One nation, one map is simply one set of consistent multi-scale base maps that can be used for thematic mapping by many users working on Philippine geospatial data. In other words, we have to maintain, let's say, an image or a map of highest resolution, and all the other subsequent derivative smaller scale maps can be extracted from that highest resolution map. So just to illustrate the point, for instance, we have this 1:500 image. So from this image, we can extract several other smaller scale maps depending on our use. Like, for instance, for regional planning, for provincial planning, we don't need necessarily need a large scale map, but we need a smaller scale map, like possibly a 1 to 20,000 or 1 to 10,000. So it really depends on the application. Perhaps for municipal planning, for like barangay planning, we need a large-scale image or large-scale map. So the idea is that NAMRIA will provide the base map, and all the other agencies will build their thematic layers based on the base map provided by NAMRIA. For instance, agencies under the Department of Science and Technology like PHIVOLS, PACASA, and MGB under the DNR could actually add on their data to the framework data set of NAMRIA. In the same manner as, for instance, the Department of Health can add their health facilities onto the base map of NAMRIA, and so on and so forth. Now, these are the benefits of having one base map. One, we envision that there's going to be authoritative, relevant, consistent, updated, and quality geospatial products. Second, it would facilitate joint processing and analysis of geospatial information. Third, geospatial data will be more accessible to the public via the portal. Fourth, and the government will save a lot of resources like time, effort, money with the establishment of the Philippine Geoportal system or project. And it will encourage actually collaboration between the government and the private sector. So this would promote the PPP program of Pinoy for our president. Next. Now, for the objectives, generally we want that the Philippine Geoportal project would be able to establish a spatial data infra that would contain the basic framework, which is our base map, together with the other geospatial information sourced out from the different contributors or stakeholders or agencies. And this set of data can be served online to the portal and can also serve as a platform for a city platform for collaboration and for other business development projects. And more specifically, for phase 1, we will pilot the large-scale geospatial mapping for Metro Manila and upload this as well to the portal. Yes. Now this actual slide will tell us that data sharing is actually very eminent among the stakeholders. No? The stakeholders meaning they are both the providers of agency-mandated information and user of portal-based information. While NAMRIA sits as the center, as the hub of the portal, the responsibility of the development of the sectoral or the agency portals actually still rests on the agency. So NAMRIA as the central portal, but the agencies connected to the portal will develop their